Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. Let me ask you a question. What do you do in MechWarrior Online when the team is getting themselves into a bad situation? And by that, I'm talking about the bad situation you can see coming 10 miles away. You really only have two choices. Number one, follow the group, and at least you're going to be in the bad situation together. Or number two, go your own way, doing what's better for you individually, and hope it's enough to turn the tide to help the team. Let me know in the comments below how you play it in those situations. For our two drops today, I am piloting my Orion. It is the Orion 1M. I have it outfitted with 1 LB-20, 3 medium lasers, 3 SRM-4s, top speed 60.5 kph, and that's the first important nugget of information that you'll need so that you can see just how this situation is playing out. The second important nugget that you'll need to know is, right out of the gate, our commando ran straight at the enemy forces, Echo 4, Echo 5-ish. He lasted almost 60 seconds before he was taken out. Now, we did manage to take out the enemy Piranha, who was coming around the 7 line. And while all this was playing out, my team has stretched out along the ridgeline, Echo 6 clear down into Delta 5 and are rotating heavily into Delta 5, playing the long-range trading game with the enemy units. Now, my mech is not set up for that. I am definitely close range. And the second big thing is, anyone who's played this map knows there's not a whole lot of cover in Delta 5. It makes it very difficult to try to push a dug-in enemy, Echo 4, Echo 5, in the buildings on that high ground. I know we've been keeping up with the trades fairly well. Actually, I'm pretty impressed. I know that that streak can't continue, and I'm using the distraction of my team to get myself into the Echo 5 area, close the distance, and be able to engage the enemies close up and personal, just like whatever's down here around the corner. There he is. And that is a Hunchback with an open right torso. We're going to focus on him, give him some love, and we've actually managed to spin him around so that my teammates can get some back shots as well. And he's getting missile support from up on high. That's not good. I've also managed to take a Gauss round to the right torso. I'm just going to be aware of that. But right now, I've got a lot more armor than this hapless little Hunchback, and we managed to punch through his CT. Now it's time to look at what I can do from my position, and can I apply some pressure to the enemy. Ideally, it would be great to find their missile unit up here on the high ground and be able to pressure him. I just need to crest the hill, do this wisely, and see what I can do. I don't want to push the enemy base and let them know that I'm back here just yet. I want to see if I can get some work done behind enemy lines, and this does not disappoint because there is a Timberwolf. We get a great alpha strike out on his back, taking half his mech, and now we finish him off for our second kill of the match. But, as they say, the jig is up. There's the Nova Cat. That's their missile unit. Love to put some pressure on him, but that's when his buddy shows up, the little Kit Fox. And I'm going to focus him for two reasons. Number one, he's a light mech, so he's going to be fairly squishy. Number two is, look at that right shoulder. That is a lot of AMS, and I want our missiles to be more effective, but I can't quite get the job done. The score is 7-9, and I'm really mad that I couldn't get into that Nova Cat before they realized I was in their backfield. That's going to make the rest of this much more difficult for my team, and I don't know if they can make up the kill deficit. And really, unfortunately, it would have been nice if this Hunchback had pushed in with me when I did my push. All of those medium lasers would have made for a great battle buddy in the enemy's backfield. Enemy Thanatos goes down. That explains the Gauss shot I took on the right torso crossing the open fields. But now the Hunchback is in serious trouble because there's the Nova Cat just raining missile after missile. You've got the Blood Ass firing large lasers from on high at Echo 5, and down goes our Hunchback. We have one unit remaining, 8 to 11, but I don't think he's going to be able to pull this one out. Go, little Arctic Wolf, go. He was also running LRMs. So we had a lot of LRM units left at the end. The Arctic Wolf and the Fafnir firing his missiles. The Kit Fox is still in the game, making our missiles that much less potent, which is really, really frustrating. And down goes our Arctic Wolf. So switching over to the end score, we finished this one off with 2 kills, 6 components destroyed, 3 KMDDs, 547 damage done. Moving on to our next drop, we're playing Assault mode again, this time on Frozen City, and the situation looks like this. We've got kind of an L-shaped firing line set up, and my concern with this situation is if the enemy balls up and pushes Charlie 3 or Bravo 4 one side or the other in force and is able to break through our lines. That could be catastrophic. So let's see how this is going to play out. Now, in this situation, I'm lacking good intelligence as to the disposition of enemy units. I can't tell if they're grouped up in a giant ball or if they're spread out, and that little peak there tells me that they're spread out. A couple units at Charlie 3, I took some enemy fire, and I got some missile fire from the right side, and now I'm being pushed by an Atlas Kraken, and we're going to take this fight here a little bit because he's pulling back into cover, and I do have some support units near me, so hopefully we can gang tackle this Atlas. That would be a huge win for our team to take that assault mech off the board. Now we've just got to find him. I'm bobbing back and forth because I half expect him to come around the left side of that building. He's not re-peeking right side or left side. He must have pulled fully back closer to the rest of his teammates. And while I try to reacquire our friendly Atlas, if you're enjoying the content thus far, please help me grow the channel by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Don't forget, turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of the latest content. And look at that, we have managed to find our friend, the enemy Atlas. And this is turning into an interesting fight, one that I'm not necessarily well equipped for. I jokingly call my build the Atlas Light, and I can't go toe-to-toe with the real Atlas. He's got way more armor, and he's got a bigger alpha strike. So I bail down over the side and give myself a little bit of time to cool off. My torsos are starting to look a little weak, especially that right one. And I need to preserve a little bit of my armor. It's a little too early in the game to sacrifice my mech. And that's when I see the Timberwolf. Now, if he had been more aggressive, he could have absolutely lit up my backside. But as it is, I get a couple of good shots on him. I'm not sure I want to repeat that. I want to see what's going on the left side here. They're not pushing forward. They are balled up, but they're not pushing our line, and the Timby is not re-peaking. So that means I've got to reposition myself. So far, our lines are holding. Score is 4-2. We're ahead on kills. There's the Timberwolf. He's decided to come out, and we're going to help ourselves to half of his mech. And he's still pushing one of my friendly teammates, and I'm going to move in to give him fire support. There's also an enemy Hunchback down the lane. Nope, that's a friendly Atlas, not the evil Atlas. That's the friendly Atlas. And he finishes off the Timberwolf before I can get there. And here comes our Kraken. Unfortunately, he's on the other side of the building. Our Atlas takes out their Atlas before I can help on that as well. And pushing further in, there's a Sun Spider. Let's get some shots on him. He is open CT, but there's the Hunchback again, and we managed to take him out with a shot through the CT. And we also managed to finish off the Sun Spider, and that gives us 2 back-to-back kills. Looking towards Charlie 3, I see one of my units engaged with an enemy. I'm going to give him some support fire, and we managed to get the kill. So that is our 3rd kill of the match, and our 2nd Hunchback kill of the match. And right now, my worst fears were never realized. In this situation, the enemy did not punch through our lines, and now we just mop up the last remaining couple enemy mechs. Switching over to the end screen on this one, we wind up with the 3 kills, 5 assists, 6 components destroyed, 637 damage done.